Hi guys, Andrei Pietrosu, I'm a system engineer at NetCentric. I whipped up a little presentation today about standardization. Anyone has any idea what standardization is in IT? That's my first choice, but while trying to make this interesting, I actually searched for a definition. And according to a dictionary, standardization is the process of developing and promoting standards-based and compatible technologies and processes within a given industry. And it's like, huh? Basically, in IT, standardization boils down to having a unified code base that helps you be more agile in every project you have. So, do you have any idea what these guys have in common?
Uniforms.
And no hats.
Try again.
They don't know hats.
The light bulb.
An idea.
The light bulb, yeah. So, basically the same idea, but you were onto something because they're diverse. The implementation is always different. So, let's say you're a DevOps. And you have 3 clients and you have the same platform, you have pretty much the same code base in front, but because you don't standardize everything in the deployment, you'll have to do the deployment every time in a different way, and you'll work twice as hard, for example. So, exactly what I said, this leads to huge workloads and a lot of effort, and nobody likes effort, at least not. I'm pretty much lazy. So, the solution for this, create a standardized base code that you can use over multiple clients, multiple platforms. But it depends on your actual business. For example, for us, we're not there yet, but in terms of AWS, for example, we pretty much have something in place that can be used everywhere. And I'll show you a little bit later. Everybody knew that until now, but I had to start somewhere. So, like I said, in AWS, we try to use CloudFormation to create a template that can be used across clients and across different projects because our clients have multiple projects. So we started with a network stack. Basically, every client in NetCentric has 2 network stacks, a non-prod and a prod. They're different clients, so. Then we thought about instance variety because not every project is the same, and maybe you have more instances, maybe you have less instances, maybe you have different types of instances. Also the tools, because some clients need, for example, big data analysis, some need more monitoring, which is actually another point there, or you name it. And we end up with the application layer, which covers load balancers, DNS, and project specifics. For example, what project specific means for us, we use AAM, which is Adobe Experience Manager. It's a CMS. And for example, some of our clients use a search function which is powered in the back by Solar with Zookeeper. And because not all of them need it, but some need it, we have developed some CloudFormation template code that allows you to vary between clients. So if you don't need it, it won't get installed, but if you have a client that needs it, it will end up being installed. OS-specific information. Some clients have different partitions, I don't know, maybe some network-specific configurations you have to take into account. Of course, monitoring, because no monitoring is the same. Some of them use Monit, some of them use Nudge, some of them use Zabbix. We even have cloud monitoring or CloudWatch, and security policies, which are, let's say, pretty much the same, but not really. Depending on the client infrastructure, you may have different security groups, you may have different firewall openings or stuff that may get in the way of a proper implementation. And I cheated a little bit and also included another thing here. It was supposed to only be for infrastructure, but I thought it would be nice to also include platform as a service because, let's face it, you can't do anything without a platform. You have the infrastructure, but you can't use it. So I used two examples. One of them is from my previous experiences, where automation was done a little bit weird and primitive. I'm sure you'll agree. Basically, you had the vanilla code, so the automation code in one place, and afterwards, depending on the client or the environment, every engineer created his own branch. So for development, they did a development branch from client X. For production, they did a production branch from client Y, and so on. This can be okay, but not really. So, for example, you have the advantage of having a separate code base, so you can't really mess up anything. You'll mess up only the environment you're working with. It's cleaner, but it's really hard to maintain, and that means a lot of effort. And the one we have in NetCentric now, almost, it's a unified code base. So basically, you only have one branch. That branch has specificity for development, QA, for different clients. And this is easier to maintain because it's a single code base. But the drawback is that if you break something, you'll probably break everything. So we're a bit at a stalemate here because which one will you choose? Well, we kind of chose both. We went with the second one, but we also took the Git branches from the first one. So you have actually no room for error whatsoever. You can push everything, you don't have to care about it, but you don't break prod, for example, if you push into development. So, what's the result of standardization? You have fast deployment windows. So, like Andrei said, 6 weeks for virtual machines. By the way, I have an example with 6 months. So, it's not pretty, and it's usually actually left the project and they still didn't give me the VM. Funny story. It's easier to manage because you have a single code base. You don't have to hassle. It's low effort. So everything in one place. You have 10-minute windows to fix something instead of 10 hours. And it went a little bit back. What the hell? Sorry, guys. Jump. So, the advantages of using a mouse instead of a clicker. No, actually, the Mac doesn't see it, so I had to improvise and use this fantastic little gizmo. So I found this comic at some point because I thought about an experience I had in the past. When I joined the company, I saw that they had 10 projects, everyone was done in a different way, they were pretty much similar. And I said, okay, why do you have 10 ways of doing this? Because it's basically the same until point X. Well, because we didn't think about that, then maybe we can come up with a solution. So I tried to come up with a solution and I ended up with standard number 11. Because as it turns out, they had some weird issues, and at the end I managed to standardize everything, but the first try was standard 11 instead of standard 10. So that's actually the issue I encountered. So you can try to standardize anything until you end up doing standardization for one-time tasks. So for example, change password for user X. Maybe it helps because you can make it generic, but if it's just for user X one time, it won't work. And it's time to do it manually or find a better way. So what good does this do? Like I said, uniformity. You have code base. It's easier. It's fast to deliver. It's easy to manage, and it's easy to onboard people. So let's face it, personal is a constant issue, and it's easier to explain. Okay, you have this code base, you have to deploy it like this, you have to make changes like this, instead of figure it out. It leaves you more time for improvement. Our code base is not nearly perfect, we're still working on it, but for the time being it does the job and it's constantly being improved. And this will be the fun part. So, used to happy clients, and happy clients lead to more projects for a company, and more projects lead to more money. So, everybody wins. So, after you standardize everything, what does it help you with? So, we can do fine tweaks and upgrades. I can tell you from experience that we had a lot of those in the last few months, because things keep popping up or keep changing, and you have to adapt. You can improve the documentation, because the major pitfall of developers and operation engineers and whatever is documentation. You have something skeleted, but usually it helps to give it some attention. You can research ways to refine your process. This may be a little bit limited because, let's face it, at least in infrastructure, you don't have really 15 ways to do something. You have maybe 2. And those 2 are according to standards, let's say. So maybe find the best one that suits you. And most importantly, search for the next improvement. So, for example, right now we are rewriting everything, refactoring.
Just because we can.
Yeah, because we can, and because we found a better way of doing it, and modularizing everything a little bit better. So, what should you take away from this short and simple? Come on. So it makes your life easier, and you'll see if you standardize everything, you do deployments in 10 minutes instead of hours, and you don't have some project manager. Is it done yet? It gives you more time to innovate. What this translates in real life is it gives you more time to try something different. Faster deliveries and go lives, and it actually helps the client. You have more flexibility because you don't need to take into account 10 things that go wrong. You're more flexible if something does go wrong. Happier customers, and it's smarter way to work. I don't know. Does anybody want to do anything manually here? That's it.